Welcome back to Views with Hughes, your Jennifer News. I'm Jerome Hughes, and if you haven't done so, please click the subscribe button and also click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So there's more talk dealing with Rings of Power. All right, so these are a few articles and news that I've missed from other sites. Deadline stating that the Rings of Power producers aren't concerned about that other fantasy drama on HBO. They're talking about Game of Thrones as well as a prequel to it, which is House of Dragon. Okay, so they're not really concerned about it, and apparently it looks to me like they're basically both in competition with who can get the most viewers. And in my opinion, there's like a lot of people out there who are really might not be interested in either one of those. I mean, most likely they could be a little more interested in House of Dragon, but then there's also controversy surrounding that when it comes to current day politics in that show. Okay. So they said that they're not really, they're not really concerned about it or worried about it. All right. So in this article, tells details about the showrunners, like J.D. Payne saying that this is before Frodo and the Rings and stuff. Premiere on September 2nd. And then they saying that we hope the human drama in it will be engaging and accessible to anyone as well as superfans. And it's not going to be it's not going to go well with superfans and stuff because they're the ones who read the books, saw the Peter Jackson movies, and also the ones that are speaking out against the show itself. All right, and they're the ones who you're also trying to look to open their minds and everything, as well as the fact that you're telling them that it doesn't have anything to do with modern day politics when your actors who play the characters on the show, including especially those who aren't even mentioned in the books, let alone the lore, are stating that it's basically current day politics in the show. Okay, so going further into detail about it, well, that's about about the article, but yeah, they're not really worried about House of Dragon. Okay, so they're not concerned about that competition. And then it was also stated in Rotten Tomatoes where the Lord of the Rings of Power reveals unseen Tolkien. I've expressed to you all in several videos how the things that they put out there, they say it's of Tolkien, but they say it's unseen Tolkien. So they still line, go ahead and continue to double down, triple down, quadruple down on their claims about how the show is good and how it's for everyone and da-da-da-da-da. By stating that this is Tolkien. In other words, keep telling us to read the book, read the book, read the book. All right. So this was reported last week. This is Sunday, of course, where he said that, Payne said that Tolkien is sort of a treasure hunt. Often it's whispered that someone will say you get the little nugget there, a little nugget there. Our job as storytellers has been to excavate that. Okay, so it also says here, as such, Rings of Power is the first Tolkien adaptation where devoted readers can't skip to the end of the book for spoilers. I wonder why. They can't skip to the end of the book for spoilers. Could it be the fact that, it's not really based on much of the book itself? It's just the appendices or just a little teeny section of a big, grand, excellent novel. Okay, and the crazy part about it, they also have things from a book that they don't even have rights to. So why in the world would you even make the show in the first place if you don't have the rights of it to the whole thing? It just says here we weren't interested in a show that was a nostalgia play, a retread, a reboot, or a sequel. McKay said so basically they're interested in a prequel. The stories are different stories that you've seen on screen with Tolkien. His themes are throughout the show. His language is throughout the show. His world, his characters, but audiences are going to be going on a new experience. Yeah, that new experience being something that's not Tolkien, that you claim to be unseen Tolkien, when it's something that Tolkien didn't put out there himself. The creators y'all created didn't come from Tolkien. You just made it put out there where you want to put it out there as if it's from Tolkien, but it's actually from y'all. But I digress. Okay. So we also went on ahead to listen to some of the highlights that where he said we're going back to the time with the Rings of Power with Forge, the rise of Dark Lord Sauron. Well, of course, we know that. The story of Tolkien's Numenor, which is Tolkien's Atlantis, and finally the last alliance of elves and men. Payne said. So basically, they already got the whole series planned out. That's just the 5 seasons. Just up upon that, I guarantee you all they're going to do the same thing that AMC did with The Walking Dead. The comic series wasn't even didn't even last that long, and it's all long and drawn out for after all these years, for almost like over a decade or so. And it's like all these things they just threw in there, threw it in there, and threw it in there, just to keep the audience engaged and active and continue to make money from the show. That's what Prime Video is going to do. You watch what I tell you, okay? And then it's like we would really like the we would really take the little clues Tolkien gave us to build them out into stories and characters. In some cases, single sentence buried in Tolkien, buried in Tolkien. So yeah, like they that's what they basically stated right there. Like to take the little clues, little things that Tolkien gave us, and then start building them up ourselves and stuff, and adding on our thoughts and things that we feel that the viewers should be engaged with, and we think that they're going to love. They also dug into characters of that which someone plays a young Elrond. And he also said there's a few nuggets. So now I'm starting to think they're all going based on the script. The responses are definitely scripted. And we also saw in the videos and the interviews and everything where the actress that played Princess Disa, as well as that other woman who's supposed to be a single mother to a woman, to a son, where her love interest was an elf. I don't know. I forgot her name. I don't care at this point. But they're basically saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. So it says, okay, if you read that, say there's a few nuggets. Robert Aramayo said, if you read it that way, that sort of fact finding mission as a fan, I really enjoy those decisions we got to make. And I'm gonna let y'all know this right now. They made some poor decisions. They've made some poor decisions to keep this show going. Okay. And then it's like the woman who played Galadriel, who made a comment stating that Galadriel says something that alludes to with wisdom, there's a loss of innocence. And that was really formative to me, in terms that what does it mean to have innocence for a creature that would have been alive for thousands of years? She has unique perspective because she is history. So in other words, she basically doesn't know anything about Galadriel. She doesn't really know anything about Galadriel because of the fact that just for like loss of innocence and everything led her to go ahead and, become a warrior, fighter, a soldier, and so on and so forth, rather than a woman who was with great power and wisdom and foresight. She was born at the time where, in the years of trees, she saw the trees when they were lit up, when they had light. Okay, she was there in Valinor and then came to Middle Earth and later went back to Valinor. She saw a lot of things, and pretty sure she didn't really lose her innocence. She learned a number of things, but even if she did lose her innocence, then that wouldn't mean for her to go ahead and just make her a fighter or a warrior. Y'all just took that role from Elrond and gave it to her. Elrond was the one that saw everything. Elrond was the one that lost his innocence. Elrond was the one who also saw that, the reason why he saw so many things in his years of living is the reason why he had that stone cold look in his face. Even Tolkien alluded that in the books. But did they take the time out to go ahead and find out that themselves? Nope. Guarantee they didn't. But I digress. And then it says here, new characters had even more digging to do since there's no pre-existing adventures of their characters. Basically, they're not in the books. So yeah, it goes on and it states that, it's talking about how adaptation of another series, which is, well, that's another article. So never mind. But IndieWire reported that the Rings of Power showrunners explain show's connection to Tolkien. This story isn't ours. Well, the story is not, but the things that you put in the story doesn't belong to Tolkien. That's your story. It's fan fiction. Fan fiction that's not popular to many people. So they claim they feel real deep roots in the of this show in the books and in Tolkien. That's another lie. And it says here that, they're under a lot of pressure, and it should, because of the fact that you're dealing with something that came from the Professor Tolkien himself, that's been published worldwide in different languages, and also made by Peter Jackson, which won several awards from, might add, and it's like of course they're gonna be under a lot of pressure. Patrick McKay said that I just want to sort of quibble with the vaguely connected. We don't feel that way. Where they stated that when a reporter or television critic, Associated Press tour, stated that the show was vaguely connected to Tolkien's books, and they felt that we don't feel that way. That there's a vague connection. We feel like deep roots of this show are in the books and in Tolkien. I wonder if they're taking the Kevin Smith route. Stating that this show isn't what you think it is. It's not this or that, but when it comes up to it, it turns out to be that way. That's not going to work out well if they're looking to go that route. They're going down swinging. I'm going to continue. We feel like the deep roots of this show are in the books of Tolkien, and if we didn't feel that way, we'd all be terrified to sit up here. We'd feel that this story isn't ours. It's a story we're stewarding that was here before us and waiting in those books to be on Earth. We don't feel vaguely connected. We feel deeply, deeply connected to those folks and work every day to even be closer connected. That's really how we want to think about it. That's how they're thinking about it, but that's not the reality. Reality is that they came up with all these characters and everything to appease people at Amazon's Prime Video and everything, to put out their diverse characters with diverse with minority backgrounds and all of that, as they call it, disenfranchised backgrounds and everything. But this is not even those who are from disenfranchised communities and backgrounds and everything, as well as identities. They don't want this kind of stuff. They simply want to be entertained. Yeah, there's a lot of people on both sides, left and right, who go out there and then protest this and that, and then also watch all the news on TV. They want to take a break from it, or they just want to escape from it completely. But y'all want to go ahead and add these elements to these shows like this. Something we don't want. All right. And you went on to say, we think about Tolkien, his life, work, creating this world. This is Tolkien's Middle Earth and regions beyond Middle Earth, and we just wanted to be true to that, he added. And Tolkien's work is endlessly applicable across cultures and across times. And we feel really grateful to be able to bring it to life in our time. So basically, you just contradict yourself. You contradict yourself. Your actors and actresses contradict you, saying that you want to make this timeless, but at the same time, you made this related to current political times. Make it make sense. The math is just not mathing. I told y'all this before. I'm not watching the show. And if you feel that, if you don't want to watch the show, that's fine. I'll watch it. I'm cool with that too. All right. But just don't tell me to give the show a chance, because basically there's been enough stuff put out there about the show itself, and I'm convinced already that this is something that I don't want. And this also come after contents made by Peter Jackson, when they stated that, he came forward saying that they stated that we're going to send him a script, but he never received the script. And it's like, they considered to him working on the show, but he never received the scripts itself. This is stated that it was a form of ghosting that may have something to do with the fact that the Tolkien estate was closely involved with the Rings of Power. And remember, who's the head of the Tolkien estate? Simon Tolkien, the one who stated that Peter Jackson's works with the movies, Lord of the Rings movies and stuff, were too faithful to the books. And they expect us to go ahead and take their word on the show itself. And they have somebody who was a lawyer who became really an unsuccessful author who is now the head of the Tolkien estate. I've always thought about this too. What if there's somebody within the Tolkien family itself who enjoys the great grandfather works of the Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, Silmarillion, and want to go ahead and add to that? Like, what if they want to do that? If they want to do that, I'll be glad. I'll be up for that. If as long as they continue in the same pattern as Tolkien himself. If they want to include diversity in it, at least make it natural. At least make it natural instead of having it thrown in our faces. Okay? But other than that, I guarantee you, most likely, I'm doubtful that, that the Tolkien estate, Simon Tolkien himself, is going to let that happen. Why? Because of the fact that he simply hates the works of Lord of the Rings. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this whole thing with Lord the Rings of Power? Okay, let me know if you're going to be watching it or if you're not going to watch it. But just know this: when it premieres, I'm not really going to say much about it because that's just going to give them the benefit of the doubt to go ahead and continue making money off of hate reviews and stuff. Okay, so I'm not going to give them that kind of leeway. I'll listen out to what's happening in the episodes and stuff, and then I'll share my thoughts about that. But other than that, I'm not watching the show itself. And also, I'm going to have a poll below to let you to ask whether or not if you prefer like the broadcast, or if you want live stream from this channel, or if you want both. Okay, if you want to record a broadcast, or if you want me to live stream from this channel, or if you want both. Okay, so let me know your thoughts below. And also, if I went anywhere wrong in the video, let me know that in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the things I shared in this video, please smash that like button and also share this video all across social media. And then give me your thoughts and opinions about the show itself and what you think I should add to the channel too. Also, if you haven't done so, if you enjoy all my content, please subscribe to the channel. And also, don't forget to click the bell notifications so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Until then, peace.